The earthquake revealed something new in the zone, and with it came rumors of a mysterious doctor and a substance that can cure mutations. It sounds like a miracle, but in the zone, miracles always come at a cost. I'm Game Master in action, and this is a new scenario. Fenrir's Last Flight is an original scenario for the RPG system Mutant Year Zero. If you want to learn more about the system, there's a link in the description to a video about it. In this scenario, the players take on the roles of mutants living in an ark. That ark can be located in any zone, and the scenario can be run as a standalone adventure or added to an ongoing campaign. The story begins a few weeks before the main events of the scenario. An earthquake hit the zone. It wasn't extremely powerful, but strong enough to stir up the inhabitants. More and more scavengers returning from expeditions talk about newly discovered places, fissures, forgotten bunkers, or basements that appeared after the quake. Some were seen with their own eyes, others are just rumors heard from wanderers in the zone. Clearly, such places may hide secrets and resources that would be valuable in the Ark. After some time, stories start spreading in the zone about someone called the Doctor, a mysterious figure who trades a substance that enhances mutations. If those stories are to be believed, this substance reduces the negative effects of mutations, restores health damage, and even removes permanent rot. News spreads quickly through the Ark and evolves just as fast, gaining bizarre details along the way. The people are tense and eager, waiting for the Elder to organize an expedition to find the Doctor and his serum. But the Elder is hesitant. Some trusted PCs may even take part in a private meeting with the chroniclers, called by the Elder.
What do we actually know about him, this so-called doctor? Nothing. Until now, there were no mentions of him at all, and suddenly the entire zone talks about him. And this serum, it sounds too good to be true.
The chroniclers confirm they have no data on the man, but rumors are spreading fast and expectations are growing. With the quake revealing new places, it's possible the Doctor came out of some bunker and really has a cure that could help. It's only a matter of time until someone goes searching on their own, or worse, a revolt breaks out.
Yes, I know. We have no choice. We must organize a scouting mission and learn more. If possible, acquire the serum and make sure it's actually safe for us.
A small expedition is organized to gather as much information as possible about the Doctor and his serum. The player characters wouldn't be PCs if they weren't involved. The mission is secret. Only after the scouting team leaves will the Elder announce to the people what's going on. The PCs surely know someone in the zone, directly or indirectly, who can provide information about recent events. Maybe a water trader, a friendly inhabitant of a small settlement, or even an exile from the Ark. In my example, this NPC is Byrne, a mutant who runs a bar called the Aero Club. Reaching the Aero Club from the Ark takes time and requires crossing several sectors. Because of the quake, even previously explored sectors might now hide new things. A promising fissure worth exploring, a metro tunnel that was previously inaccessible, or a known path now flooded with rot. But there's something else in the zone, something invisible but noticeable hanging in the air, a strange sense of dread. Oddly enough, the zone is quieter than usual. The zone is normally a quiet place, but you can often hear distant animals, ghouls pushing through bushes, or mutant hunters tracking prey. Now it's even quieter, and that silence feels wrong. Inside the Aero Club, besides Byrne, there are two mutants who arrived from deeper parts of the zone to trade, but something tore them up on the way. They claim they were attacked by a creature unlike anything they've seen. Tall, skinny, incredibly agile, it ambushed them from the treetops. Even though there were 5 of them, the monster killed 3, and they barely escaped. If the beast hadn't fallen into a rotten pond, they'd be dead. They warn the PCs not to go deeper into the zone and suggest they should return to their Ark if they value their lives. Their story seems exaggerated. Maybe they were attacked by zone wildlife and are just trying to discourage others from entering areas where the Doctor might be found. Unfortunately, Byrne has something to add.
A few days after the quake, I heard terrifying howls in the zone, or roaring even. I've never heard anything like it. I've had customers who said something cleared out their hunting grounds or chased their vehicle without rest. Whatever it is, I think it was mutating underground, and when all those cracks opened, it came out to feed. Seems it doesn't handle heavy rot very well, and may the rot protect us and kill those creatures, the same way it kills us.
Once alone with Byrne, the PCs can ask about the doctor. They can try while the others are around, but Byrne doesn't trust them enough to share useful info and will hint that they should drop the subject. Byrne has never met the doctor, but is certain the man exists. He saw mutants who claimed they used the serum, and they actually looked healthier than before. They weren't very open about where to find the doctor, but Byrne gathered that he's somewhere east, maybe past the tracks. Byrne says he got the feeling that the doctor chooses who gets the serum, but he has no idea based on what. When asked if he's interested in the serum, he shrugs. Who wouldn't be? Byrne can point the PCs toward the arc of those mutants. Maybe they can make contact and learn more. The arc mentioned is far away. The journey won't be easy. From what the PCs know, something new is hunting in the zone. A predator. And that makes other zone beasts feel threatened, or worse, pushes them into desperation and aggression toward mutants. Let the PCs feel this. Every step, every sector should be a challenge with growing dread. Distant roars from several directions, meaning there's more than one predator. Sudden flocks of birds taking off as hunts begin, then a chilling scream of a mutant being torn apart. Alive. Not far away. Now every step matters, and it better be fast and careful. The arc the PCs are heading to is hidden deep in the forest. Just like before the apocalypse, it's surrounded by a tall concrete wall, patched with metal sheets and boards. It's quiet outside, but dull banging can be heard from inside. Through cracks in the wall, shapes can be seen, several, maybe a dozen figures. Guards apparently, but a sharp-eyed mutant notices they're not patrolling. There are several ways to enter: through the front gate straight into the guards, by flying over if someone has wings, or through a hidden passage in the back if someone's clever. Sooner or later, the truth is discovered. The guards are mannequins placed as a scare tactic, but that doesn't mean entering the arc is easy. Its people are cunning, and the space between wall and building is trapped. Nothing lethal, but failed agility or scout rolls can drop someone into a hidden well or snare. Everything designed to slow intruders and give the arc's inhabitants time to react. The closer the PCs get to the building, the more it feels like a trap. It's too quiet. Only the occasional banging breaks the silence. No welcoming party. Time to get inside. The arc consists of two connected buildings. From the remains of an information board, the PCs can learn it used to be a monastery. One building was once a church, the other a residential house. The banging comes from the church. There are several entry options. The church's main doors are barricaded from the inside, but a side entrance can be forced open with a few strong pushes. Another way leads through windows in the residential building. The ground floor windows are barred and reinforced, but the upper floor isn't. With some rope and creativity, the PCs can get in. Inside, the arc seems abandoned in a hurry. Its people left behind some useful items, a few food rations, and possibly artifacts, if the PCs find the Dawn Vault and get inside. What's there is up to you. In one room, probably the leader's office, a robot head can be found. It seems functional, but activating it will take effort and time. The source of the banging is especially intriguing. It comes from the church, from a cage containing a prisoner. As soon as he sees the PCs, he asks for help, says he's hungry and not dangerous. Whether the PCs believe him is another matter. Either way, the guy wants out and is quick to talk. He says his name is Beard. He claims he was captured by the Ark's inhabitants a few days ago, maybe a bit over a week, and has been locked in the cage since. He says he came from far away and has been traveling a long time, but that's only partially true. Beard knows what happened to the Ark's inhabitants and tries to use that knowledge as leverage if he's still locked up. Here's what he knows. When he arrived, the Ark already had access to the famous serum. The Ark's boss was thrilled with the effects. Beard confirms that even in a few days he noticed some mutants looking healthier. The Elder was determined to get enough serum so every inhabitant could have some, but not everyone liked the idea. One night, Beard overheard a whispered conversation about poisoning caused by the serum. They said they heard in the zone that some mutants died in agony after taking it, worse than from rot. How much of that is true? Nobody knows. What Beard knows as fact is why the Ark is empty now. 2 nights ago something happened to them, as if they suddenly went mad or were hypnotized. Beard first thought they ate something bad or got drunk, but then he realized something was calling them. All of them. The more aware ones grabbed supplies, but the rest left as they were. Beard felt it too, but more like danger luring him rather than something he wanted to follow. As for the new beasts, he has suspicions, or rather fears, but more on that later. The next piece comes from the robot head. The leader must have used it as a recorder.
That tonic from the doctor is the answer to all our problems. Everyone who takes it gets stronger, healthier, and gains new abilities, new mutations without health loss. If we get enough for everyone, we'll become the strongest Ark in the zone. We'll dominate everyone and nothing will stop us. We just need to convince the doctor to give us the damn tonic. And I think I have an idea. For now, it's a secret. That Beard guy. He isn't like us. He's not a mutant. I suspected it the moment I saw him, and now I'm sure. Probably crawled out of some bunker after the quake. Good to know where from. But I have a better plan. I'll sell him to the doctor for tonic.
If for some reason the PCs don't access the robot head or postpone it, this info can come from Beard or a frightened chronicler hiding in the Ark. Beard is cooperative if the PCs don't threaten him. Forced cooperation is possible, but maybe not necessary. When asked about the beasts, Beard says he heard about them. The Ark's scouts found one and only one mutant survived, in terrible condition. Probably why the Ark's leader was so desperate to deal with the doctor. But something else worries Beard. If his suspicions are correct, everyone is in danger. Yes, it's true. Beard is a human. He won't hide it. He says he comes from before the apocalypse and recently woke up from a very long sleep, probably connected to the quake, because he doesn't remember it. Back in his time, he heard about certain biological experiments. Those who knew more spoke of them with fear. He doesn't know much himself, but he knows where the info is stored, the place he woke up. The PCs may not want to go there, but the promise of forgotten artifacts and knowledge that could shift the power balance should be enough motivation. Right after leaving the Ark, the PCs encounter a mutant. He's weak. He wants to get inside. Beard recognizes him as one of this Ark's inhabitants. The mutant looks sick. He says he went to the doctor's Ark and got the serum, but escaped. Says something terrible is happening there. He warns the PCs not to search for the place. Is he lying? He doesn't resist pointing out the location on a map. He's too weak to fight. When the PCs are about to leave him, something strange happens. He screams, writhes in pain, and suddenly his torso explodes, as if he swallowed a grenade. The PCs can't believe their eyes. Beard whispers that he's heard of this a long time ago. Time for answers. The place where he woke up lies a few sectors south of the monastery Ark. The closer they get, the stranger the surroundings become. True, the quake changed the terrain, but something else affected the plants. They look altered, like something changed their growth. Rot? No, not that. Something else. When they finally arrive, they see something they don't understand. A container-like object, maybe a vehicle? They've never seen anything like it. Part of it is buried in the ground.
This is Fenrir. In my time, ships like this flew between planets and beyond. I was its pilot.
Surprisingly, the ship is in decent condition, though time has left its mark. Inside, Beard leads them to what he calls the bridge, and a trained eye sees signs of a fight.
When I woke up, I was alone. No one from my crew. I don't know what happened here. Maybe they woke up earlier. Maybe someone attacked them. Honestly, I'm not even sure why I'm here at all. Back then, There were rumors of entire crews on colonies or space stations. Yes, arcs in space, being wiped out by, well, there were stories about an alien species found out there. Some even said the corporation was studying and breeding them.
Beard activates the ship's systems. Moments later, one of the monitors shows a recording from the distant past. How you present the flashback is up to you. You can narrate it, but I recommend switching to Alien RPG rules for the flashback, letting the players become Fenrir's crew. Mutant and Alien share similar mechanics, so it should be smooth. You can run a longer scene or even a full session. This way, the players and PCs feel the impact of what they're seeing. Here's what they'll see. Fenrir is a small transport ship owned by the Weyland-Yutani Corporation, a routine unit on a routine route, a flight between the Anchor Point station and a corporate colony, one of many the crew has already completed, nothing they haven't done before. When they wake up from hypersleep, nothing suggests how deeply screwed they are. The first minutes after awakening are confusion, heavy eyelids, and the characteristic metallic taste in the mouth. Almost nobody pays attention to their surroundings. As long as no alarm is blaring, you can assume there is time to get your bearings. However, several things are very wrong, but that only becomes clear later. Besides the player characters, there are 2 technicians, a pilot, and the science officer on board. An android named William. He oversees the flight and normally does not enter hypersleep unless absolutely necessary. He is also responsible for the correct operation of the wake-up procedure. When the crew gathers in the mess or on the bridge for the first briefing, they quickly notice 3 people are missing. The pilot and both technicians are nowhere to be seen. William, in his calm and emotionless voice, explains that the technicians were awakened earlier. The pilot remains in the cryopod. When asked why, William explains that a minor malfunction occurred in the life support systems. Waking the pilot now could overload them. This is not good news. William assures, however, that the situation is under control and that the crew is needed to assist with repairs in the engine room. Another worrying detail, Mother, the ship's AI, is silent. While trying to understand why, one of the crew members discovers that Mother was disconnected, not as an emergency measure, manually. What is more, all previous logs are missing. William explains that during the flight, Fenrir encountered a solar flare, which caused an unexpected failure of Mother's systems. The damage threatened life support. In that situation, disconnecting the AI was the only solution for the good of the crew and mission success. When the crew reaches the engine room, it is silent, too silent for a functioning ship. Only the emergency lights are working, casting a pulsing red glow across the walls and pipes. Under one of them lies the first technician. A facehugger is attached to his face, still alive. A few meters away lies the second technician. His chest is torn open from the inside. The body needs no further inspection to understand what happened. When the crew tries to leave the engine room and transport the still-alive technician to the medbay, they discover that the doors are locked. William states that leaving the engine room at this time would jeopardize the mission. That is when the xenomorph emerges from the shadows. It does not warn, it does not observe, it attacks immediately. The next part of the recording comes from a much later moment. It shows William carrying a crate with the Weyland-Yutani logo out of the cargo bay. The casing bears the label, hazardous, mutagen. The android then leaves the Fenrir. If for some reason the characters do not want to go to the Fenrir, the retrospection can be delivered by Beard, who watched the surveillance recordings after waking up from hypersleep. There is no doubt, the Doctor is an android who left the ship before Beard, and the substance in question is a mutagen. Could it be that William continued his vile research on mutants? And the hunting beasts? Without a doubt, xenomorphs, the same creatures that devastated the ship. The question is, what to do about it? There are several paths, but all of them lead to a confrontation with the Doctor. The characters already know where his camp is, and if they have the courage, they can head there. If they connect the dots correctly, they will realize it is one of the most dangerous places in the zone right now. If they go there, they will see the camp surrounded by fencing. The android has clearly been busy. One side of the camp leans on a rocky wall with some sort of cave. There are also several cages containing mutants, used by the Doctor as test subjects. In the center of the camp stands a shed, likely containing the mutagen. From time to time, strange noises echo from the cave. The same sounds the characters heard in the Fenrir recordings, the xenomorph. There are multiple ways to take the camp. The characters might enlist the help of the Aero Club owner and rally the people of the zone against a common threat, though that alone seems like a big challenge. Byrne also mentioned that the beasts are not resistant to rot, so preparing some makeshift grenades from rot hotspot could solve the problem, or at least help. There is one more option, the Fenrir. The ship is not in great condition, but it needs only minor work to be ready for one last trip, and the Fenrir is armed well enough to flatten the android's camp, or at least heavily weaken it. But if you want to complicate life for your players, there might be a surprise waiting for them inside the cave, an alien queen and her eggs, as well as hypnotized Ark residents drawn by her telepathic calling. Some of them may already have facehuggers attached. Will the characters survive the confrontation? Will the twisted order of the zone be restored? It is all in your hands. One last note. Whether taken from the android's notes, found in the ruins of the camp, or from the android himself, through interrogation or cooperation, the characters can learn one more important thing. Whatever turned people into mutants also made xenomorphs unable to infect them properly. Even if attacked by a facehugger and exposed to the doctor's mutagen, many mutants can fight off the developing alien like an infection. Not all of them, but a significant number. That's all for today, folks. I hope you enjoyed the story, and if you did, hit that like button and subscribe. Remember to check the link to the handouts in the description below. Thank you for joining me, and see you in the next episode. Until then, may your rolls be critical and your adventures be legendary.